Kelly, thanks for joining us tonight. Let's talk about the role of women in the pandemic. Many world leaders who are women are being praised for their leadership styles right now. Why is that?
Well, I don't think leadership style is necessarily gender specific, but we as women leaders do have certain traits that just because a lot of these leaders have had to play in a man's world, so they're much more aware of a lot more human aspect of things a lot of times, because every decision is going to be received in a different way. So I think women just typically, once they've reached a level of leadership, as a lot of these world leaders have, they've just fine-tuned their leadership abilities in a way that they're very aware of consequences. They're very aware of empathy and understanding different voices, and also collaboration is a big thing that it takes for women to get to that type of a level.
Talk about the collaboration. How does that work, and what makes that effective?
Well, you know, it's funny, and the research is in a great book, That's What She Said, and it talks about how women, when we're young girls, we're brought up with collaboration being key, whereas men, when they're boys, when they're playing with other boys, winning is key. And I'm not talking about all situations and all settings, but it's typical for women to grow up having to learn how to collaborate. And, you know, it really serves us well, especially in a crisis situation, when you've got to be open to listening to a lot of different voices. And it can really benefit women and leaders when their default is to go towards collaboration as opposed to my way and sticking with it and not listening to the other voices in the room.
Regarding women leaders of other countries, some say that they have helped to minimize the impact of this disease because of their swift action, their trust in science, and their ability to make difficult decisions with empathy and compassion. Why do these qualities make them effective?
Well, again, I don't think it's necessarily gender specific. There's, I'm sure, many men that also display that leadership type of style, but it really is something that women have kind of a corner on the market, because we can't get to that level of leadership without all of those skills being firmly established. We as women tend to be the only female in the room when we get to those upper levels. And we just can't walk in and demand our way. We have to kind of navigate and look at what's in it to win for them, what's in it to win for them, and create this win-win-win situation. And I think in a crisis, this really serves, and it has served, these female leaders and these nations, because a swift action, if women don't take swift action in a leadership role, we are thought to be indecisive. So we have to take quick action. It's something that's been ingrained by the time we've gotten to a level like that. Being compassionate, that's just also another thing of understanding we have to learn and listen from everyone's input. We can't just have our way being the highway. It doesn't come across well as a leader, especially women. We just have this double standard. It's unfair, but it's there. And as a leader, we have to listen and be compassionate to other people's voices. So when you look at a crisis situation, all of these skills that these female leaders have had to hone their entire careers to reach a level in politics that they've reached, or any female executive has had to reach, these skills have just sort of had to be really developed to a whole different superpower.
Yeah, and you mentioned listening several times there. Do women typically listen more than men do?
It's not, again, it's not a gender thing. It's a survival thing. We have to listen, because we have to make sure when we open our mouth, we are giving an answer that is full of value. We don't have the luxury, and it's, like I said, it's this double standard. We don't have the luxury of coming back with a response that might be too emotional or be viewed as negative in any certain way. We have to listen and really understand what someone is asking us so that we can come back with the right information. Every female executive has suffered when they've talked before listening and really understood what the question was being asked.
And that was author and motivational speaker Kelly Accetta.